Now, you might have seen the announcement. The Department of Health is assuring the public South Africa does have a constant supply of life-saving antiretroviral medicines that remain secure, despite 2 contracted suppliers now entering business rescue. The department says provinces have about 3 months' worth of stock, and there are contingency plans in place to prevent any disruption of HIV treatment. Let's get it straight from the person in charge, and this is Health Minister Dr Aaron Motsoaledi. Dr Motsoaledi, good morning to you. Thank you for your time. We do appreciate it. I shared with our viewers there in that introduction the reassurance that you are sharing with the public that we do have enough ARVs in stock. For the patients this morning who are watching, talk to us about that assurance and also the guarantee that even after this 3 months, that basically the situation is under control.
No, thank you very much, Imam, and thank you for having me. Look, it has always been like that. It's not that it's happening now because people are on business rescue. It has always been like that. Ever since we launched the world's biggest HIV counseling, testing, and treatment campaign in 2010, we've always made sure that we've got stock at hand. In the early days of that campaign, we used to have what we call a buffer stock, a huge warehouse somewhere in Centurion, which was always keeping a buffer stock. We've done away with that, but at all material times, we have got 3 months supply at hand, at all material times. Whether there is a company that is in trouble and all that, or whether it's running smoothly, there's always a 3 month supply stock at hand in all the provinces. So it is also the case even now. The second thing I want to mention, it's not by accident that we gave 7 companies the contract. It is a risk mitigation measure because we know that in the supply chains systems of the world, anything can happen. You can have there could be transport problems. The company can go into financial problems like it is now, or you can have no raw materials, etc. So we give 7 companies the contract so that if any get problem, the others will ramp up supply.
Yeah.
It's quite unlikely and unnatural to expect all 7 companies to be in trouble at the same time.
As you say, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, and that is a risk mitigation strategy. But let's focus on these 2 companies that did go into business rescue, Minister. I mean, you know, they didn't win a small share of the pie. I think it was a quarter of it, 25% then it represents of that tender. This is Bars and Innovata. And disturbingly, it seemed almost immediately they went into business rescue. So how did companies who seem to be really quite vulnerable secure that tender, and how do they manage to bypass your department's due diligence process in the first place?
Well, they didn't. They didn't bypass it. This tender is not given only by the National Department of Health. We have got 9 provinces. All the people who are dealing with procurement in 9 provinces come and sit together. We also have Treasury. We're using Treasury regulations. The tender is given on the basis of information given by a particular company. And the fact that they are now in business rescue does not mean that they evaded scrutiny. It's just some of the things that happen in everyday business. One day you are up, the following day you are down. It's just like at the moment, the rent is very strong. You don't know what might happen tomorrow for it to be low. And you can't blame people who do business with South Africa on that basis.
Is that what happened here?
Well, all I am saying is companies are judged on what they have at that moment. But let me put a disclaimer, Imam. I came here because I'm eventually responsible, but you are aware that we don't get involved in the nitty-gritties of issuing contracts. You know that very well. That when we do so, it's called political interference. So the nitty-gritties I won't know. I'm giving you the policies and principles through which we issue contracts.
Well, you know, there's a saying that says, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and essentially that would be your head. I mean, you're the one that Parliament's going to be calling to account.
Yeah, well, we'll give them all the information. I saw yesterday on business day, yesterday or the other day, that Parliament is summoning me. I don't know anything about that, but I'm ready if they do. It looks like they went to inform Business Day that they are summoning us without informing us. But nobody in Parliament has told us anything. We're still waiting, but I'm ready to go down with the team and give them all the work that we've done.
And again, I can appreciate that you're not involved in, the nitty-gritties of that procurement. I mean, that's why you have, an entire, procurement team that manages that. But just out of interest as well is, again, knowing what were the reasons they weren't able to be able to fulfill their contracts, given how vulnerable they were. I mean, I think it was just days after that tender period began that they went into business rescue. But I'll take the point then, Minister, and we'll wait to hear more on that. Let's just talk about the bigger program itself. I mean, there's a massive target you've set for yourself. I think it's 1 million people to get them get them tested and to get them on treatment. Is an event like this a setback to your overall program of getting people on treatment and getting them to stay on treatment?
Absolutely not. As I told you, availability in two ways. We've got what we call a SVS system, stock visibility system, with each and every clinic, and we've got what we call an RX system with each and every hospital. Those are checked at least once a week, a minimum of once a week, every day, even the better, because some report every day. Then we've got another system with suppliers that every 2 weeks, we check with suppliers what problems they are having. That's why we picked up this issue of business rescue. It is not something that is happening by accident. It does happen in business, Imam. It does happen in business. And that's why we've got such systems already. And the companies know, for instance, that while they sign a contract, if there are any signs that they are meeting problems, we know that within 2 weeks, and we already make sure that the other companies ramp up their production. That's what happens every day in this business.
So just to confirm, you're saying Parliament hasn't actually reached out to you to come and give accounts. This is just something via the media.
Not to my knowledge. I haven't seen, even yesterday I was asking, unless the letter arrived last night, I haven't checked with my department yet. But by yesterday evening, nobody in the department knew anything.
All right, we'll keep watch on this. But if there are developments as well from your side, Minister, please have your team just alert our team and so that we can keep the public close to developments.
We will, Imam. I want to emphasize, it's not in our interest at all, as a government and as the people of South Africa, to ever run out of ARVs. We will never do that, because it will be a very dangerous thing to do, not only for life, but for business, for everything. Because you are aware that if people stop taking ARVs, they develop resistance. When they restart again, we have to buy more expensive drugs. So under no conditions will you allow the country to run out of ARVs unless there's been a massive, massive explosion somewhere out of our control.
Minister, thanks for talking to us this morning. Appreciate your time. That's the Health Minister, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi.